Welcome to mountain biking with the Rohloff. We're going to focus mainly on gear changing, how to gear change, where to gear change, and dispel some of the misinformation that's out there on the trails and online. So we're going to go through basically how it works, the gear shifting, opinions versus reality, a weight comparison just to show you what the weight difference is. What we'll do then is go through the actual facets of the gear changing, how you change multiple gears at once, how you can change gears while you're stopped or coasting, climbing, changing gears while you're climbing. Talk about technical trails, ride focus, discussion on roll-offs in mountain biking as an application, and the roll-off on an e-mountain bike, which is a little bit different again. And then finally, I'll just give a quick update after 7,000k, how my bike's going with the roll-off, along with some feedback from actual customers who have converted their e-bikes over to the Rohloff. So come along, enjoy the ride, and we'll explain and we'll demonstrate the Rohloff, why it's faster, why it's safer, and why it's stronger. Gear changing, how it works. The Rohloff has got a central axle with 4 spring-loaded pawls, and if you try to change gears under load, well, that will put load on the actual pawls themselves, won't allow them to freely spring and select the different clusters and gears needed. So that's why you've got to back off momentarily. You can do it very quick and do it coasting like I just did then. Climbing up a hill, just went up 3 gears. But basically while you're coasting down a hill, like I am now, you can change whenever you want, no problem. When you're going up a hill, if you try and change, it becomes difficult if you try and change under load. That's the pawls not being allowed to move. Gear changing becomes a near unconscious act after you become a little bit more familiar. Normally it only takes 5-10 minutes. Some people are a little bit longer and they get accustomed to it very quickly. The up and down of gullies, the corners, it all becomes so easy. So a derailleur rider changing to a roll-off, most people adapt very, very quickly in a matter of 10-15 minutes or a ride. It's a slight difference in the fact that you can't change gears under full load, whereas on a derailleur you can change gears under full load, although you'll destroy your chain and your cassette if you keep on doing that, and derailleur. Opinion versus reality. There is a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of experts out there online who've never ridden with a roll-off. Things like you can't change under load, where you can under a little bit of load, to be honest. Things like you can't change gears up a hill. Will they last mountain biking? Yes. Super, super strong and robust, super reliable. One of the things that comes back from roll-off owners is they just go out and enjoy riding. They don't have to worry about tuning like you do with a derailleur, because there's no tuning. Some people say they're noisy. Well, complete opposite. They're dead quiet. You don't hear a roll-off changing. All the gear changing is done internally. You don't hear it. It's one of the beautiful things about it. The problem with the weight of the Rohloff, well, there's only really about half a kilo difference when you add up, take off the cassette and take off the derailleur and just put a Rohloff on. You've only got one shifter and a chain tensioner normally. So I've put a bit of a video here together. Steve Gall's on the derailleur mountain bike. It's a Merida E160. And Greg Nicholson is on a turbo lever with a Rohloff. It just demonstrates to me they're both fairly similar riders and speed, going through a fairly tricky section. It just shows both gear changing systems for mountain biking are very similar. No real disadvantage apart from the fact of where Steve may have changed gears and where Nico may have changed gears, because with the Rohloff you can choose where you want to change gears, because you can change gears when it's actually rolling along and moving but without pedaling. Standing still, change as many gears as you want, so you can change when you're stopped. You don't have to pedal. If you're going up a hill or you stop on a hill and you want to go back to a gear to start off in, just put it back and start off. Multiple gear changing. Drop it down a few. Keeping your hand on the grip. Going up a hill. A few more. Over the crest so it's fast, and I'll put it up about 3 or 4. I'm not looking at what gear I'm actually in. I just know how it feels. Up and around, back 4 or 5 gears, weaving through the trees. So multiple gears, as many as you want when you want. Climbing with the Rohloff. Up the hill, momentarily stop, back 3 gears. I've just gone up, another little climb, back. It's very easy. You momentarily pause the load on the pedals and you change as many gears you want. Have a look at the video. Going up at 34% grade, momentarily pause the leg, keep going. Have a look again in normal speed. Technical trails. Here's a good example here. Down through a dip. On the top I just roll back because I know I've got a big steep climb just here. I'll climb out of this one. So I changed on back 3 on that corner. I changed another 2 as I hit the hill. But what it allows you to do is to change when you want to change, rather than in a technical spot which you may pedal strike, or it may cause you loss of focus while you're riding. Ride focus. In simple terms, that's exactly what it is. You can focus on your riding without trying to work out where you're going to change gears, because you've got to be pedaling. Here's a rock drop off here, so I can concentrate on doing that rather than worrying about what gears. I can do that down here. I just did 4 or 5 gears. So the Rohloff for me, and a lot of people, allows you to focus on the riding. We're going through some windy tree sections here, so you can concentrate on that. I can even change gears while I'm doing that, but not worry about what my pedals are doing, or we're going to hit a pedal strike or a root or rock. Your hand stays on the grip, so you're not pushing your thumb or finger. So everything stays focused on the ride and focus on maximum sort of safety on the ride. There's a lot of people out there who don't believe the roll-off is the right application for mountain biking, but I just can't work that out over a drop-off. You know, all the gears are sealed inside a case, so there's no dirt, no grime, no rubbish gets in them. It's safer. Your hand stays on the grip all the time. You're not trying to move your thumb around to get to a trigger, although that ergonomically isn't a big issue, but your hand is still wrapped around the grip, which allows you to focus on the trail, read the trail ahead, because my eyes and mind are out front looking what's happening. Just went back a gear, and my hand is doing the gear changing after my brain tells it what to do, I guess. Pretty basic, but true. There are a number of very significant advantages. The ability to change gears at any time, even when you're not pedaling. How fast you can change gears, very, very quick, and multiple gears at once. Cadence, you can optimize your cadence through basically 1 or 2 clicks up or down, and the consistency of the roll-off gear change. It's internal, completely sealed, all the gears are inside. Doesn't matter on the trail condition, how technical, how wet, how dry, how muddy, it changes the same all the time. The roll-off and e-mountain biking, well, the only factor really is you get some motor roll on with different motors and different power modes. So again, the roll-off doesn't change well under load, so you've got to watch it with turbo mode and boost mode, because the motor tends to roll on a little bit after you stop pedaling. Again, it's all part of the gear changing process.
Peter here. I actually couldn't believe how quickly I adjusted to it, and I'm actually finding it now. Certainly it's just the ease of riding. You just get on your bike, you ride, you don't have to worry about any adjustments with your derailleurs or anything, and it's just makes it a very good experience.
Hey guys, Nico here. The main reason that I got the roll-off was I was sick of having my bike in the bike shop all the time, getting the derailleur adjusted. It just works well. That's the part I love about the roll-off, is you can go up multiple gears in one hit. I love that. And down multiple gears before a hill. I can stomp my feet on the pedals as hard as I want without having to worry about the cassette crunching and slipping, and it just takes all that away. You can just enjoy the riding. Loving it, actually.
Yeah, so this is Paul Moir. So you might recognise that name, and actually Jack Moir is his nephew, so he's well up to speed with everything in mountain biking at the minute. But he's been converting his Specialized Levo over to a roll-off rear hub, which is pretty interesting. He says he's been seeing chain and cassette wear just going on his bike just after 2 weeks. So he's currently swapped it over to the roll-off setup on there. He says he just loves a quiet and trouble-free operation. There's no maintenance needed on this bike apart from a $25 oil change, which you can just do on the hub. No tuning, just keep the cables in good condition and enjoy the ride.
Chris, $25 oil change, I'm loving that. That's
cheaper
fantastic.
Than a chain sprocket and cassettes, for sure.
Yeah, and do you know what? I think it's only a matter of time before we see even more of these on e-mounted bikes of the future. Definitely some future tech there going on.
The 7,000 kilometre update on the bike I'm riding. Well, what have I done? I've changed the drive chain, front chainring, chain and rear sprocket at 4,000k, 3,950 to be exact. The chain failed, but I end up changing the whole drive chain. as that's the right thing to do when it's got that many kilometres on it. But the sprocket and chainring are still in quite good order. I've done 3 or 4 oil changes, probably 2 or 3 times more than necessary, but I'm the roll-off guy and I've got the oil, so I've done it. And this is the first time I've used a roll-off on an e-bike, so I'm monitoring fairly closely just to watch the progress, watch if there's any wear or any problems. So far nothing, but that's one of the reasons I've taken it apart a couple of times to have a look at the insides, the drive pins, to see if there's any shear marks on them. There's none. And change the oil while I'm at it. Cables, I've changed the inner cables twice, both from a result of crashes. We all have little knocks and crashes every now and again, and that just keeps a smooth operation of the shifter working very nicely. So apart from that, I just keep on riding. It's been bulletproof.